Hello, everybody. This is Scribbling Joe, and I am going to attempt to teach a little something here. I'm gonna try to teach you guys basically how I sketch characters. I have a very simple approach, but it's kind of more of a step-by-step kind of thing, and I just want to share that with you. And hopefully you get something out of it. And if you have any questions, just feel free to comment down below what your question is, and I will do my best to answer it. So let's go ahead and get started. Basically, I start off with what they tell you never to start off with, a little circle, but it varies. Sometimes I might do a circle, sometimes I might do a square. It kind of varies. It doesn't really matter what it is that you start off with, so long as it's a simple shape. And then I'll go ahead and I draw this like kind of bed sheet kind of character, and what it is just a rectangle. That's all it really is. It's really just a rectangle, so it's basically a circle, a rectangle. I think I might have showed something like this in my bear drawing. And then from the rectangle is usually about maybe 2 of the heads tall. It depends on the kind of character you're making. And then 2 sticks coming from the rectangle, and they're usually like turned into like these little triangle things, and that'll be my legs right there. And sometimes it's more of a U-shaped kind of thing, and sometimes little 2 triangles right there to show the feet, and another triangle, 2 triangles on either side to show the arms. And that's pretty much it right there. This is how I start off my characters a lot of times, more than often than not. And it's kind of a really fast way to kind of prototype it. So like, if I want like, hey, stop for me, cabbie, yo. And, it's just something I could do really fast. That doesn't take a whole lot of time, and you could turn this into anything. Like, let's say for instance you wanted to make a child, then you can do that. Like, just play around with the proportions. Like, yo, my dad needs a cab, I want a cab too. And it's something that's real easy to just kind of do really fast. And if you're doing some kind of sketching where you're drawing out a comic book, or and you don't want to lay everything out right away, you can do that, and you can add on detail however much you want. Like maybe this guy has a suit, and you can do that really fast. Here, he's got like a little suit. And maybe he has a hat on. So it's just something you could do really crazy fast. And you don't have to be sitting there forever, drawing out the whole, this is the head, and then this, and then that, and extra however many heads tall if you want to. But it's just something that I could do really super fast, and I use it a lot for like prototyping things. So it's kind of like, if I want to do something on like composition, and I don't want to draw everything so quickly, so like readily, I can do this really fast, and that way I don't feel any guilt when things go wrong, because things, there's one thing you can always count on, is things are always going to go wrong. Nothing is ever going to come out perfect straight away. You're going to mess up a few times. This is one of those little cliche kids. He's just copying his dad. He just came from a ball game. But sorry, I'm drifting off topic. But one of those things that you don't have to worry. You don't have to sit there and draw out like an entire thing. But you see what I'm doing here is that I'm going in and I'm detailing it after the fact. So I'm not sitting there and saying, oh, well, these are the eyes. These are the eyes right here. This is the guy's eye. And there's his nose. And then, it's kind of one of those things that when you draw, and I think I might just do like a whole basic drawing course altogether. But you really want to start simple and then work your way to detail. You don't want to start detailed and then you figure out that, hey, this eye is off, this eye is too small, and this eye is too large right here. What am I gonna do? You want to start off knowing how big the head is, and then saying, well, the head is this big, so maybe I should realize that maybe I want the eyes to be low like that because I want him to have a big forehead. And okay, well, let me just draw a straight line across and say, well, bigger the eyes right there. And then I want a schnoz is kind of large, so there's a big old nose that kind of encompasses that, and a tiny mouth, and there's my character right there. And big ears, because that's how I roll. And you want to, we'll give him a bald head. He's got not just for men. Just for men is coloring your hair. This is this guy doesn't have, anyway, and a unibrow. Anyway, the point is that you want to start off kind of vague, with an idea that you want a person there. Okay, so really, when you first do a drawing, you should really start with, okay, what kind of story am I trying to tell? What kind of let's just start a new page here altogether. What kind of story do I want? And you could say, well, maybe I want somebody fishing on a pond under a tree. Okay, so you draw the biggest things first. The biggest thing is going to be the tree that they are under. So you start with that and you keep it simple, just a big old thing, and maybe I want it close. Okay, and then you can say, well, the tree's got branches, so we're going to scribble that out, and it also has the leaves. And if it's autumn, then you could say, well, it's got branches, and then you just, instead of drawing the leaves, you could say whoop, 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 there, and there are the branches right there. So you'd start with these very simple little drawings, and you do them really quickly, and that way when things go wrong, you're like, oh, this is not the tree that I wanted something knobbier. I could say, well, it's okay, no big deal. Maybe, just kind of like that, and that's all right. And I could say, well, it's okay that it wasn't right the first time because I just, I just scribbled it out really fast, so I'm not heartbroken when I have to erase some things. So that's one advantage to it, and also you can figure out your composition a lot faster. And so maybe there's a giant pond here, maybe I want it to go from there. And now looking at it, I'm like, well, maybe I want some kind of other side showing here. And maybe I want a person over here waving and saying, yo, hello. And I could draw that person really fast. Right there. And it's if I say, well, I don't like the person there, or maybe they have a dog as well, or something, and I can just like scribble that in, and I'm not worried about it because I'm not doing detail right now. I am just drawing the basic drawing, and I can add things in and then say, oh, that doesn't look right, and then erase it later because I just scribbled it in. Like it took me a second to scribble it in. So here we have our dude, or could be a girl. I don't know. Doesn't matter. I didn't set my heart to it yet. But maybe they're sitting here on the other side. They were thinking of something, and there we go. We got ourselves a person, and I'm seeing right here that their legs should probably be bigger, right there. So that's okay, because like I said, I only spent like a second doing it, so I'm not worried if I goof up. And then I feel that since their leg is over here, then the pond should be further out, like the edge of the pond should be just a little bit further out, because otherwise they would be in the water and their feet would get wet and they might not be happy about that. I don't know, some people like that kind of thing. But he's got maybe shoes on, so he wouldn't want his feet to get wet, because then his shoes would get wet and it would be a horrible walk home. But anyway, that's kind of where you're at, and you could test the grounds before you get all into it and say, well, this perspective doesn't seem right or something like that, and maybe it doesn't, and then you could correct that. So basically that's kind of where I'm at. So, and you can draw characters quickly. So let's say, for instance, I have a character like this, and they have a sword. That's a terrible place to put a sword. Let's do this right. Let's say he's like that, okay? Maybe he's a dapper dude, okay? And he's got a cane. And I think you stand with a cane like that. I'm not sure. Not a very cane kind of person. I tried the cane thing for a while. It didn't really work out for me. The only reason why I had a cane was because I had my foot broken. I had to walk with a cane for a while. Or at least that's what I chose because it looked better than crutches. I had a walking boot. It was kind of embarrassing now thinking back at it. And you know, but you can see how quickly I can prototype this. It's really fast and you don't have to worry about all this other stuff, you know? Don't worry about, like, he may have a tailcoat like that, but I can draw that in afterwards. And I'm not drawing a tailcoat and saying, oh, well, this button goes here and that button goes there. No, we're just drawing the basic part of it right there. And we could go and pull up our reference later and then see all the details and stuff that we need to put in, you know? So you go on Google and you look up tailcoats, and then after that you can say, well, you know, this needs to look like this, and you know, the shoulders might be broader, or maybe this cane needs to be thicker, you know, stuff like that. But you could detail it out afterwards. Maybe I want his ears larger. And that's one way to do that. Anyway, that's just kind of all I wanted to show you guys. A really, really fast way to sketch people. And I've really advised that you go out to a park and look at actual, nobody can't see anybody nowadays. Well, if you could go on YouTube maybe and look up a video of people, just like regular people around, you can sketch them really fast using this technique. And you don't worry about the details, don't worry about the hair, just kind of do these little characters like this, and you can fill in the blanks afterwards. And it's a great exercise for drawing people and getting them down. So that's all I got for today. This is Scribbling Joe. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed this, if you want more of it. And I will see you next time. Bye.